All right, what's up, guys? Brand new week, Monday, February 24th. And we're just going to start taking a look at what we got going on today. So, NGM. Ooh, wonder what the news is on that. NGM, not much of a short float. NGM Bio announces positive preliminary top-line liver histology and biomarker data. Okay. Phase 2 study. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This might be overhyped, but what I do know is that we are actually currently looking at a stock here that is way overextended and on very, very light volume, by the way, very light volume, which could mean that, you know, this could easily be shorted. But the thing is with this stock is it kind of reminds me of another, what was the stock we were dealing with last week? I can't even remember the name of it. But very spready, just moved up and down a lot. It did end up providing some good shorting opportunities, but this has no previous areas of resistance, so I'm a little bit hesitant on it. But I think it's worth watching later in the day, just to see if it starts to create some patterns that might present either long or short opportunities. This is one of those stocks you would go in with incredibly small share size. Wouldn't even entertain this with, I probably wouldn't entertain this with much more than 30, 40, 50 shares. I mean, maybe 100 if I was catching it at a really good spot where I could set a short stop. But anyway, so that's NGM. Let's see, NNVC. This is interesting. NNVC, we've dealt with this quite a few times here in the last month and a half. It's about a 15% short float. Stock soars amid fears of global spread of COVID-19. Has filed quarterly report for period end and has sufficient cash. Okay, there's a lot of good news on this right now. Let's see what the locates are. They're really not that much. They're not that expensive. The thing is I don't know how confident I am that this is going to make some significant moves. This just earlier in the month, or right, I guess right at the tail end of January, hit almost $20. Got a lot of bag holders, and again we're gapped up on very light volume. I actually might be willing to pay the $22 in attempts of shorting this. I would want to see a rejection of these pre-market levels here. 1,000 shares is not necessarily a lot for a stock like this. So let's see what 800 would be. I'd feel better spending that. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I think there's a little bit of psychology, a little bit of trader psychology involved in this. You know, the more you spend on shares, the more obligated you feel to use them. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and accept them. So I picked up 800 shares of NNVC. This will be the one that I probably watch mostly out the gates. And I don't think I would take all 800 shares at once. I think I would end up averaging in. So there's that. ENLV. Wow. Okay, so this is a former runner. It's made some pretty big moves in the past. How much are shares? Ugh, that's a lot. It's a lot. What's the news on this? Very, very light short float. Plans to boost in capacity for treatment of COVID-19-like symptoms. This is all coronavirus related. Excuse me. How much are 400? See, this is hard to justify. I mean, this could be a great move. We could, but I mean, we could even make $200 right here, shorting 400 shares. I think it could at the very least test $12, but I don't know. I don't feel too good about it. I would actually look to see if it would retest the 200-day. Because again, this is run pretty good in the past. I mean, it really has. I mean, look at these spikes. It was ridiculous. And I mean, it's a small float. We're looking at 400,000 share float, and $220,000 shares already traded. I don't know, guys. I think I'm going to stay away from this one. NNVC might be good to look to see if it does not do well on this stock. If it's not able to break over this, I would be totally fine to get in at least a starter position of 400 shares at 990. And GM. So this is what I'm talking about. This might actually present some good opportunity. But anyway, let's see. APT has been a decent stock to trade on in the last month as well. You can see all the moves that this junk has made here. So this is another one you got to locate. It's not expensive though. Let's see what the $15 for 1,000. This one's even easier to short. But I don't know. I think I'm going to leave this one alone too. It's not always in, let's see, NGM, HMY, okay, INO, TOCA. This one looks almost kind of looks promising. Looks like this could actually go for a break of that 200-day. Now we're sitting on very light volume here. I mean, it's not super heavy volume. In other words, it's like, I don't know, 5% of the available shares. Let's look at see if there's any news on this. I'll tell you what. I mean, you could almost see. I mean, this is almost. What does this look like on a 15-minute? Is this kind of a trip? I mean, one that could have been looked at as a head and shoulders, and we could be developing another head and shoulders right here. It's never really closed below the 20 on the 15. What about the 5? Okay, so it got pummeled right there, but I guess 170 would be the stopping point. So I just need to decide how much do I want to put on there, and what I want for it to break the 2. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna include this in the list right here. Okay, and now this might be due for a pullback, depending on what we're looking at here on the daily chart. But it's also running strong. I'm going to look at the news on this first. Okay. It's got a 500 million share float with gold up. Okay, this is a play right now. But basically, yeah, because you know the indexes, the S&P 500 is down, so naturally, this is I guess something that's tied to or related to gold. I could see how this would be pumping during this time. Newmont Corporation, yeah, basic materials, gold. So I can see how I'd be doing that. I don't think this is one that I really care to get involved with, actually. So let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so NNVC has broken, but 1066 I think would be a significant level. Close to 11, right in the 1080 area, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. Not gonna look to really do any kind of pre-market trade here. Okay, this one has just completely tanked, just about. I mean, this one may not even get in on this one, but it would be interesting to see if this does a retest up here at 28. So I will keep it on watch. So let's look at some of the down gappers here. Okay. It's actually broke through some pretty significant levels. The market as a whole, you know, and this is just something we may have to prepare for. The market as a whole may just need to let out some steam, but today could also be a day where there's a major pullback on all of that, or excuse me, there, you know, in other words, sorry, I don't even know why I'm looking at this. In other words, it could be down right now because everything gapped down, and people could rush in and just buy it back up. So, you know, we do want to be careful to, you know, to some degree here. We do. We want to be careful with it. This may afford some good, solid opportunities. GMPX, it's remained pretty strong, but I don't know. I mean, it's not really something that's in my vein of trading typically. Don't really want to mess with Cron. Although typically there are short squeezes on this stuff, but there's not enough room to run, in my opinion. Okay. Let's look at our good friend SPCE. Well, first we'll look at our good friend LK and see what's happening over here. So, okay, it's broken a trend line and it's broken the 50. I think the next level of support would be 33.48. So I may add this up here. Oh, it can't be shorted. Well, then you know what? Well, I won't remove it. I'd be interested to see where it ends up going. I'll just kind of move it down to the bottom of the list. Also would like to look at Plug. Plug has had a lot of action. And it's easy to short. That's interesting. So let's see. We could get a retest of some levels here. And then we could just take it at the break of, yeah. So you had a lot of buyers come in and buy right back up off of this level of support, 475. Yeah. I mean, that's looking pretty, it's looking pretty promising right there for a quick short squeeze. I think if we did get a short squeeze, I guess it could come up as high as the 530s. So I would have to take, I'd have to take 1,000 shares on this, and my stop would be at the break of 483. I really don't feel like going in on all that right now. But again, just as I was saying about some of these other things, I will add it. I would like to keep an eye on it. So, okay. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to go back over some of these other ones from the other day. So let's look at NNVC again. I did pick up 800 shares for short on this. It's really having a hard time breaking through these levels here. This could be acting as resistance. So where was it? 1060. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on that a little, and I may miss the move, and that's fine. Okay, there we go. That may come down and present some more opportunities. But I'd like to look at Roku. So we need to find a major support on Roku. Matter of fact, I'm going to go here to my trading view chart, and I'm going to look at the daily levels here. One day. So right now we are down to 108.71. I mean, we're running into a lot of levels here. I can't see Roku. I can't see it breaking 100 today, but who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of levels here that we're working with. I would almost expect for it to kind of start to turn around, honestly. right, let's look at SPCE. See what's happening here. This has room. I mean, this really does have room to run, but you know, it's just, I mean, you know, you get burned on a stock and you just don't trust it. And that's usually when it starts working in your favor. You know, you're just not messing with it anymore. It's just kind of like whatever. It's kind of how SPCE is. And there's still not even like a super high short float on it. I mean, watch this be the time where it just starts ripping. Tesla has lost a lot of its value and could be making a move down to the 8 teens area, 800 and teens. So here's the thing, guys. I want to see where the market goes today. I mean, honestly, I may not even trade. I may not even trade. Yeah, I'm going to want to see. I really am. I think I'm going to want to see where a lot of this stuff goes. And NVC had a fail. I think this is the one I'll watch out the gates. And NVC, that is. TOCA might afford some good opportunities. There we go. Roku is making a bounce off of that level. I thought to myself, I said it. I think I actually said it here a few minutes ago that it should be, they should be finding support around those levels. SPY's not looking good. I mean, SPY would need to bounce off of 320. But if SPY keeps tanking, a lot of these are going to follow suit anyway. So it won't even really matter at that point. STMP, I was going to look to short, but it's already made too much of a move down. Could start to find support here. Why does that do that? So I would like to see what transpires there. Work looks like it could get a good move. AMD sitting right on the 50-day moving average. I wouldn't trust that. NVIDIA, taking it off my list. BYND broke the trend here. Could be heading down there. Just depends on how much volume we get in there today. SHOP. Lost a lot of its value. Going to remove that. There's a lot of stocks, guys. Like I said, they're just overextended. I think they're overextended. Plug might be good. If you guys hear a baby in the background, that's my son. No, forget it. Forget about it. Forget about it. But I'll tell you what, I mean, this is a good, this is a good, if it doesn't bounce on 2871, if it breaks through, I mean, this would be a phenomenal move. I'm so torn. I really am. I'm torn because I really feel like this could be the drop. We could easily get a $4 move off of that. But I don't know. I'll watch it. I'll just come back in and watch it every now and then. So NMVC, there we go. NGM's popping back up, bringing some more opportunity. That's good. UNLV. Oh, losing its lunch. It would have been worth it, but hindsight's 2020, guys. Can't even halfway try to think like that. So this could go for the break. I think it's going to test high of day. Might even be comfortable getting in, but I don't know. Today I'm just, like I said, I got to see where the market moves. I mean, really. I'd be willing to risk a long on 100 shares on Roku, maybe even 200. So I think if work could break 26.99, and as long as the SPY continues to get crushed, I think we'd see a significant move to the downside. There's a lot of there's a lot of if-thens going on today, guys. This is I mean, seriously, there's a lot of potential in a lot of places in the market today. So I'm just going to wait to see what happens on all of this. Plug is failing. There you go. NGM is failing. Has 20, can come all the way down to 20 bucks. All right, guys, we're just gonna watch. We're gonna watch. Just gonna be careful. If we see a trade, we're gonna take it with very conservative share size. I want to see what the market does today. Like I said, I want to be very intentional about watching and waiting and seeing what the market ends up doing. Not much happening there. Not much happening here. I might be inclined to go ahead and jump in maybe 500 shares. Could it test high of day? I think it could. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and see if this tests high of day. If it comes below 2, if I see any selling on the 2, I'll get out. As a matter of fact, stop. Sell to, yeah. Stop, sell on to. Okay. Let's see what some of these other ones are doing here. There we go. Retest on NNVC. See if it can break through it though. That's the question. Can it break through? Okay. I think I would be inclined to take half my shares off here. Well, maybe not half. Let's see. Let's wait for a break of high of day. There we go. That's something. There we go. There we go. Okay. Take off a quarter. Quarter of my position there. Let's see how high the rest of this can go. I might even take off another quarter. May actually add at the break of 235. Typically don't trade stocks like this, guys. Typically just don't. So it's busting through. It's busting through high day. I'm going to take another quarter position off there. And I think I'd be willing to sell. I got 282 shares. I think I'd be willing to sell at the break of VWAP. So we'll just say 282. Sell, stop, sell at 214. And we're just going to let the rest of that ride. I need to look for some other opportunities here. Okay, so NNVC is failing. So it came up to that place of resistance, and it looks like it very well might be failing here. I want to see if it can get one more shot to the top. And I actually might go ahead, since I'm up on that other one, I might go ahead and take the first. $200 shares. Let's see. I want to see more established weakness. I really think we're going to test the 200-day here. So I just want to see what happens if we do that. We also, I mean, there's going to be a lot to test right there. So NNVC. I think I would take 300 at the break. Well, I missed it. Sorry. Missed it. But it's having a hard time pushing through, that's for sure. I think think I would add at 40, by the way, guys. I think I could justify adding at 40. Maybe even 36, we'll say. Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to want to do. Stop. Sell 200 there. I'm going to sell 200 there. 282. Actually, sell my entire position there. Sorry. Oh. So, yeah. Because I want to lock in profit on that. And full-blown failure on NNVC. So, all right. So, I'm going to start, well, I'm really going to start nothing. Let's see if we can get, see if we can start with 200 shares. I really like to see a pullback closer to 10 before I do that. Like, we'll say 983, 200 shares. I would like to sell short there. If we can get it. So you know what? If it pops back up, I don't know if I'm going to want to get in there, but I'll give it a shot. And I'll take another 200 there. Just pausing at 83. Really feel like I had to go up to like 86 or something, but it's not quite making it. It's not quite making it up, guys. I think I'm about to get out on Toka also. What was I calling that? Taka? Roku's making a good leg up. We're making a good leg up. Okay, so this is, okay, so I'm out there. So 983, so 1003 might actually be the place where I want to get in with those 200 shares. Otherwise, I might go in a little heavier. The break of 60. Okay, gonna leave that alone for now. NGM, just not in it, guys. Not in it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out. Could be finding support here, so I'm gonna let that go for a minute. See what Roku's doing. Roku looks like it might be about to have a quick breakdown, so I'm gonna short 100 shares there and pick them up at 12.79 buy. See if we can get that down there real quick. Maybe even, no. Maybe due for a pullback. Okay. I'm going to buy him back here. It's looking like it's struggling. Yeah. Okay. See, it's looking like it's just kind of peaked here. And it's hitting a place of resistance. It's wanting to come down. 113. Let's try 113.27 or 22. How's that? See if we can tack on just an extra. If it breaks, it's going to come down. I'd hold on to that. I'll take 50 off at 113.22. And then I'll take the other off at, there we go. We got 50 in there. Well, what am I doing? 112.50. We'll say 62, yeah. Buy the others there. Yeah, I think it could get a breakdown past that and come down and test maybe 112.50 too, but we'll leave it there for now. See what it's doing on the 1 minute. I want to see a breakdown there. I think we could do it. But it's proving me a little wrong right now. Could be continuing to make a move up. Okay, I'm going to buy back 50 shares at 72. I don't know which direction this is going right now, so I really don't want to. Let's see. If it comes over 49, I got to get out. Come on. I got to get out, guys. Got to get out there. Okay. So we're gonna see where that goes. Not a lot being traded on STMP today. Too spready. I'm gonna get out of that. Work is making its way up. NNVC still making its way down. Major sell-off on Toka. Tesla. Okay, so this is what I said, guys. Like if the market ends up carrying onward in an upwards direction, then a lot could get just bought back today. So really want to see where all of this goes first. SPCE, look at this. Look at how shady this is, guys. Broke, got bought immediately back up. How many people are getting squeezed out right now? And VC is just continuously failing. So, I was hesitant. I was hesitant on the trade, so that's my fault. So now I might be actually long biased on Roku. So I think I might want to go ahead and I think I'll get in 100 shares at 86. I think we can get a push up. And we'll take the first 50 off on 115.46. See if we can go ahead and make a move there. SPY's moving up, so that's good news. There we go. This should be it right here on the first 50 shares. Nope, not quite. Not quite. See if we can get a pop up on those first 50 shares. It broke, but it didn't continue to go. So I'm going to set a stop to sell at the break of 1480. Excuse me, not sell, but at least get rid of some of those shares. Okay, come on. We couldn't even get the first. Oh, guys, come on. Every time you look at this, every time it breaks out and then it pulls back. It breaks out and it pulls back. This should go here. We should at least get out those first 50 shares. I'm almost compelled to push it back to like 1560 something because if it blows, it should blow. Okay, come on. Oh, come on. You've got to be kidding me. Right there, guys. Right there. Okay, you know what? Okay. Okay, I'm going to take off the first 50 there. This is struggling too much. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the SPY, but I feel like we should be able to make it up somewhere. There we go. Totally would have picked me up there. I don't know if this is... I feel like we have room. Oh, that's why it's struggling. Look at this level right here. Well, it's getting close to that level. So it's a pretty good daily level. And yeah, right here, it's okay. I can see why we're struggling a little at those levels. But man, this is just like pullback after pullback after pullback. I don't know. This could be a turnaround. So I think what I'll do is 96. Go ahead and I'll sell at 96. I'll see if I can get a quick pop there and get out those shares. Okay, 86. I'll break even on it. Yeah. See if we can break even on it. Okay, there we go. So we broke even on that, but I don't like how it's looking here. You know, the thing is I do believe we could get a push up to these levels here, up to 118, but we could be also facing a rejection off of these levels here. And that, I think that's what's a little concerning to me right now. I would even be willing to go in another 50 shares, maybe even 100 shares at the break of 1452, yeah. Although Roku can be tricky. I'll give it a few minutes. I'll come back. Boy, I'll tell you what, NNVC just keeps going down. It's just tanking hard. Now this is what I like to see here. Thing is too, by the way, I'm watching The Spy. By the way, let me see if anybody's in the chat. Okay, I don't check this chat as often as I should, so if Roku were to break back down through 114.52, I think I'd be good to get in short there. So, and I would take the first 50 off at, I don't know, 22, just to get it off the table, just in case. Okay, it's making a push. It's making a push. All right, I'm going to take that off. Story's changing. Let's look at Tesla here. Tesla could be bull flagging. AMD could be running out of steam. Again, a lot of this is dependent on what happens with the S&P 500 today. If the S&P 500 rolls over, I think a lot of this stuff is going to end up rolling over. So it's really difficult to tell. Oftentimes like this is days like this are just a little, they're just a little different, and things are just a little bit more unsure, so to speak.
The OCA can put.
Let's see here. BYND looks like it's still making a strong move up. It's trading on pretty light volume today, but see, this is just weak. It's just weak. It's a lot of back and forth. It's choppy. There's no one direction on any of this right now. Even with BYND, I mean, what was that? But so let's see. at how that is on a 15-minute. We could look for a trend line rejection there. We can watch for that. Again, watching the SPY. The SPY is very wonky right now. It's not really moving in any one particular direction. But it looks like it wants to roll over. But then again, every time it looks like it wants to roll over, you know, it ends up doing something else. So it's really hard to say. I mean, BYND and Roku are moving pretty much in the same fashion. Everything's kind of looking like it's about to roll over. But any shift in momentum with the SPY, and then all of this curls back up and starts, you know, keeps moving ahead. So I don't know. I think I would. I think I would just wait. I think I'm going to wait. Look at Tesla. Yeah, I'd be willing to go in on 10 shares with Tesla. I think we can get at least a $3-4 move, 30-40 bucks. But I might would double that. I might would take 20 shares or something like that. Let's see, NMVC looks like it's making a good turnaround. Might be able to find an opportunity to go short. All right, guys, we're just gonna see what kind of move we can make here. I went ahead and took some shares off because I noticed the SPY was pulling back a little. It's actually pulling back right now, so I don't know if that's going to affect Roku at all. We'll try to hold on as long as we can. I'm trying to avoid choppy market conditions. So I'd like to see a full move down, but if we don't get it, you know, I'll do what I have to do to come out of it. SPY is turning around pretty heavily. So I don't know, by all intents and purposes, this should continue to go down, but if it's following, you know, if it's following Daddy SPY, then who knows? I'm going to go ahead and take it out there. So we, if nothing else, we paid for the trades on Roku. Very small share size on all of this stuff. So let's see. And there we go. I'm glad I decided to come out. So again, if nothing else, we've had a winning day on Toka. We've paid for our trades on Roku. This may just be $100 day. I really have gone in super light share size today. I'm not trying to be, you know, the be all in all winner here. I'm just really trying to handle my risk today, and it always makes me nervous when we have a major on the S&P. You know, just my way to speak, you know, in a punitive manner towards all these other stocks. You know, like you don't have a mind of your own. You just do what your daddy tells you to do. So it's you know, is what it is. Even here with like BYND, it's been so weak, and I mean really, by all intents and purposes, we've broken a trend line. This should be making its way towards when I say it should be. None of this stuff is just an automatic. I mean, you know, but for it to continue to move up would be insane. I mean, the greater probabilities of that on the normal given day would not be that much. But if Daddy SPY is moving up, then, you know, after this major gap down this morning, well, then BYND is going to keep moving up. Roku is going to keep moving up. AMD especially. AMD is like Daddy SPY's little favorite child. Like AMD does exactly. I mean, I've seen it deviate a couple times. But by and large, AMD has absolutely no mind of its own. So I call it like I see it. PLUG looks like it's running on the same type of steam right now. I think I would take about 400 shares here. Look for a move down, test back at 480. Okay. Catching on an uptick. Yeah, I'll get in there. And obviously if it comes back over VWAP, what I will do is to break a 512, I will buy back 200 shares. Well, break of 513, I will buy back those shares, and then I would say maybe, let's see, 513, yeah, really I had to take back all 400 shares at that break. So let's see if PLUG can continue to make a move down. If we break 5, I'd probably take the first 200 off. I got in at 507, so I'd probably take the first 200 off at, well, now that I look at this, even if it broke 513, don't think it would make any kind of major move up. I think I could probably just add to it. Now, if it closed above VWAP on the 15-minute, I'd probably be a little concerned. But I don't know. I mean, we've broke through all these moving averages. I mean, if it can break back up through all this and take VWAP, what could happen though is I could get stopped out. That's my only thing. You know, it could shoot up here, stop everybody out, and then form a wick and still close below all of this. So in that regard, I don't know. Maybe I'll just temporarily take the stop off, and I'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. But what I'd like to see is a move down here, and I think we could get the first 20 shares off at 497. Okay, I don't even know what's happening here. That's weird. Really weird. Yeah, if it breaks 5, I think I could get the first 200 off at 497. I'd probably be looking to do that. But I'm going to leave this alone for now. I'll keep an eye on it. And go ahead in here and move it up to the top of the list since I'm in on it now. 508. Got it. And NVC. It's pretty bold right there. I'm going to move all the way up to that moving average. Pulled back. See what's happening on the 2-minute, the 1-minute. Okay. It's almost like everybody is literally waiting to see what the SPY does. They're just kind of hanging out, just chilling around the house. What's Daddy gonna do? I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do today. But whatever he does, we'll do it too. Because we have no minds of our own. Now this was a good solid move here. STMP picking up on volume a little. I'll keep this on watch. I'd be interested. I really would. I'd be interested to see kind of a move is going to be made here. Let's see if NNVC can get a push back up towards VWAP. I'd be interested in going short if it did. I think I can't even, it's not even letting me, I don't know what's happening with my chart. Let's see if it's doing it with any other chart. Yeah, it is. So let's look at the daily chart here on, no, PLUG. 487. I think it could come down here. I think we could see this move today. I do. But I am looking for an immediate breakdown. I want to start to see this breaking down past 5. And I would actually put, if it did that, I'd put it at 496, by the way. I put the first 200. I always like to try to extend an extra $1 because that pays for the trade. I mean, even though I am adding liquidity, that's just pays for the first trade I took. You have $1. I typically have $1 minimum on anything under 0.0045 cents. It comes out to this. Like if I really want to maximize the value, I would take, I think it comes out to like 220 some shares. That would cost me a full $1. I don't know if I'm making sense to anybody right now. So Daddy Spy's turning around. I would expect Plug to do the same thing. But we'll see. We'll see. Thing is this CB here, I don't know, there's like call broker, I don't know what that stands for, but basically what it means is you can only short on an uptick. Yeah, you could put your order in here at 507, and then if the buyers come in and buy 507, then you'll get short. Or you could go ahead and hit the bid, but it's not going to accept it unless there's a little buying. There's a good uptick, on the ask. So here we go. This could be a breakdown. I hope it is. Go ahead and clear a little more profit on the day and see if we can make 20. We made $22 on the first 200 shares. If it gets down to 496. And then I'll let the rest of the shares ride. Preferably, I would really like to see a break of low of day. Now, the fact that that just got bought up like that is very concerning to me. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And again, here on the 15-minute, I mean, if this breaks above VWAP, there's no way I'm going to sit on it. Even though I don't think it's going to skyrocket or anything, but you don't know. And again, right now, Daddy Spy is doing his thing. So we're nearing the end of the 15-minute candle. My game plan has pretty much got to change here. So I'm going to buy these back at 507 if it'll let me. Unless that was just a temporary short squeeze. There we go. May close below VWAP. If it still closes below VWAP, nah. Okay. All right, guys, that's no fun. So it's actually closing above VWAP. Spy's moving up. Okay, let's see if I can buy the first 200 shares back here at 512. I really don't want to mess with it at this point. And I'd buy the other 200 shares back at 510. And what I really may end up doing is just going short again, averaging in. Because could test these levels here. Almost do kind of like a head and shoulders and then just kind of roll back over. So, okay. We're out. That's kind of what I was looking for right there. Just a quick flush down. Oh, and it went all the way down to 506. But you can't ever predict that stuff, guys. You have to control your risk. Just got to do what you know is best in any given situation. Toko's been slowly making its way up. Look at this, PLUG coming all the way back down. Okay, so I mean that says a little something there. Be interested to see where it closes here on the 2 minute. Okay. All right, this is where I might actually get back in. No, you know what? Buy volume's too strong. I'm not messing with that stock. There's no telling where it's going to go, and that's not a stock you need to trade on. And NVC is kind of reacting a little bit in the same way. I could take 400 shares. I think I could get a quick move down on those 400 shares. Let's look at it on the 5 minute. Yeah, well, there's the quick move down. There's the quick move down. I wonder how many people got stopped out up there at 45. It's about to break trend. It's got a trend going here. Still bouncing on it though. So yeah, I'd almost wait for another move up just to see. We could go for a short squeeze here. Then it could break trend. Although that might have been the squeeze. So if it breaks 20, I could take 400 at 20. See where it goes from there. I'll tell you what, it's trying though. NVC's no joke. I mean, last time it created this uptrend, we can see what happened. It ended up, so I don't want to be too quick to be biased with this one way or the other. The only bearish thing that we're looking at right now is it popped up through these moving averages and couldn't hold. Got slammed back down, and it could roll and break through trend line, and then of course break this previous 5 minute candle, break the low, which we haven't broken the low on a 5 minute candle in 4 candles. So, but here we go. We're making a strong move up now. Again, could be short squeeze territory. I'm not gonna make that determination yet, one way or another. But I do like the idea of going ahead and averaging in here 200 shares, and I might even be inclined to average in another 200 shares at 58. Okay, should have gotten that. Looks like it pushed up to 58. There we go. So I've got 400 at 93. Or 400 at 53, sorry. So we're just going to see what happens here, see if we can get that final breakdown. See if we can get it at 68. And I'll go ahead and take the first 200 off at 43 if it breaks down there. If we break 50, we should be in the clear. We could continue to squeeze up, and I'll try to give myself room to add even more. Let's see, 45. Where are we at? On the 2 minute. Okay, so I think it's possible to get a flush down to 43, get out those first 200 shares, and then we're picking up in volume. I want to add, but I really, honestly, at this point, I can't justify it. Let's see. Holding through this, I would be inclined if it breaks. No, I'll take it at 43. I don't want to mess around with it. So 58 was the second add-in. Okay. NVC looks like it's about to have a breakdown through 50. That would be great. Okay, I got out the first 200 on an NVC. So my average is now at 58. And what I'd really like to see at this point is a break through this trend line. I want this to be a VWAP rejection, and I want to see a break through this trend line. So I would love to see it flush all the way down here and even test a low of day. And I would take another 100 shares off, maybe at 28, just to lock in another $30, and then just see what the other 100 does, because it could get back down to, you know, it could get back down to the trend line and bounce again, and then race up for the, you know, it might not even break through these moving averages. So, but I feel like I'm a little more in the driver's seat now, just because my average is up here, you know, or close to like 58. So I think getting a crack through 930 is reasonable enough to hurry up and just, you know, quickly scoop up. And it's right here. It's right on the trend line. It could go down to 926. But I would take it at 928. I mean, it's an extra $30 on 100 shares, and then we let the other 100 shares ride. I mean, if we, you know, think about it, and it might not. This might just continue to go up today. That's always the greatest possibility, obviously. But if for some reason it does break through low of day and starts tanking, you know, the SPY could tank. The SPY's kind of weak right now. It might just be a temporary pullback, but you never know. I mean, you could potentially get a whole dollar move. You know, we could come and test these levels down here. You get a whole dollar move off that last 100 shares. So, and this again, this is where, hold on, let me see something. Yeah, so we want to see a break of 36. And on the 5 minute, it would be good to see it crack through the moving averages, but it's holding. It's holding right now, those moving averages on the 5 minutes. So, okay, so we just ended that 5 minutes above VWAP. It could still come down to 30. And I think it could, I mean, if it cracks through the moving averages, if it breaks through the previous candle, the previous 5 minute low, I think we could get that flush to 28. So I'm going to leave my order there for now. And I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, guys. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, guys, I'm back. See what we're dealing with here. Double VWAP rejection. Yeah, I would really like to see. I think we could see a flush, but you know, I mean, the SPY's weak right now. Seems like there's more sell volume coming into NNVC. Let's see. And we've got a close to a 15% short float. So but we'll see. Could be bull flagging. So anyway, let's look at some of these other ones here. Okay. All right. I think my connection was lost there for a minute. Guys, I think we lost connection there briefly. That's what it looks like. This really looks like it wants to break through VWAP. So got a break there. See if we can get a complete flush down. So here's what I'm going to do. I may just to control the risk, I may go ahead and get out if it comes back down to 958. But if it continues to make a move up, well, we will look at getting in another 200 shares at 1008. So where are they going to buy back 200 at 958, which is totally doable. Or we're gonna get out, or we're gonna add in at 1008. I think the pullbacks, the back and forth action here are enough to justify adding back in at that level, especially because you're starting to butt up against this resistance here, and you know. So anyway, but hopefully this will give us a quick flush down to 958. It'd be great to get out there. Might even take it at 957 if it really breaks down, pay for the trade. But otherwise, like I said, we'll be just looking to add up here. So of course, if it breaks back VWAP, yeah, I'd get out. I would get out at 57. As a matter of fact, I might even get in at 998. And then 1008 to really bring the average up. and then take the final one at 10.18. So that's where I will look to add in multiple times. Otherwise, we're going to look for a heavy drop here and we'll try to get out. Tell you what, if this fails here though and breaks back through VWAP, I think it's possible to test that trend line. Although we've, in a sense, we have formed there's technically a new pivot point. I'll show you what I mean by that here in a minute. But I might even let it go as far as 9.54. Let's just see if we can bust up through. We'll go ahead and do that real quick, and then let me show you what I mean by that. So we've kind of come off this trend line. So now the trend line that we are dealing with, this is a new point right here. We're dealing with this now. So we want to see a break of this. And if we get a break of that, we'll probably come way down below. We might even come down to, if we break through that trend line, yeah, I suppose there's a chance we would get down to the 40s, but yeah, I think taking it at 54 probably would be the wisest move. And then I could just put in an order at 58 if it seems like it's pausing too much there. But the buyers are aggressive, doing everything they can to hold it above VWAP. So touch the trend line almost, the new trend line. That's why I said if we break it, you know, we could make our way down to the 20 on the 5-minute. I really think we could test that trend line though. This trend line's still intact. I mean, if we break this one, but if we don't, then this essentially is forming a whole new trend line. So, all right, there we go. I think I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. NNVC, and it actually broke all the way down to 53. See if it comes and tests this. Yeah, there you go. So that would have been a great move. That would have been a great move. Guys, trend lines mean something, by the way. I don't know if you really noticed this, but you see how this came down to the T. And you see when it broke through this trend line, what kind of a flush followed. Okay? People follow trend lines. And now I've heard it said, and I've heard a lot of people say, well, you know, people don't really follow trend lines. They follow levels of support and resistance. And then you have a whole nother class of people who say, no, it's not about support and resistance. It's only about trend lines. People don't trade side by side. They trade diagonally. Okay, well, listen. In all reality, it's both. It really is. Now, support and resistance are the more definitive points of trading. In other words, yes, you have. I would say that if I had to pick if I had to pick the stronger determination or the stronger indicator of where a stock could move, yes, daily levels of support and resistance and that sort of thing, you want to know where those are. But in between those levels, people are trading diagonally, and you cannot deny that. And this is the perfect example. This is the perfect example. We formed a new pivot point, and I drew that trend line. And when it broke through that trend line, it came down and almost perfectly tested this trend line. Okay? So the proof is in the pudding. All right? There doesn't need to be a battle of the favorites here. You need to have a good understanding of both, if that makes any sense. And for some reason, my chat is unable to connect. Let's see, anyone able to comment? We'll see. We'll see what they say. Here's another perfect example. So I'm going to draw a pivot point here. So if it comes up to here, now it doesn't mean it can't break through it from time to time. It can. But I would venture to say even if it breaks through it, it'll probably end up closing there. And then it'll either start to move higher or it'll come back down. But we'll just keep an eye on Roku here. Give you a pretty solid example of how that works. It would be very interesting to see a crack down here. We just covered another 15 minutes. It's looking kind of bearish, guys. It is looking kind of bearish. I'd be willing to take 50 shares just to see where this goes today. I'd be interested. Yeah, and I'd be inclined to get out there. $67. Yeah, I'd have to get out at the break of 168, although that one barely came above it. The thinly traded stocks, that's what makes them so difficult. And I would take 25 shares off at 165. Where's this level here? 165. Side buyback, 25 shares there. And see where the other 25 ends up. Because I think man, I wish that would quit doing that. I think there's a great possibility of it breaking these levels. And testing, you know, if SPY ends up not doing too well today, I mean, I think that's a huge possibility. Can't see it coming back all the way up there, but you never know. And I would have to get out. I'd probably take the second 25 on 163. I'd consider that a good enough move, and I'd probably be done for the day. And NVC has broken all trend lines. So it's up and back below that trend line. So I might actually be willing to take 400 here. Let's take 200. Let's see. At 39. There we go. Take another 200 there at 24. And hopefully it'll pop up and let me get in another at 49. So limit 49, so another 200 there. This broke the trend line. And has created a whole new trend. See, that happens sometimes. Now you can tell, not neglecting what happened here. Once it poked over, I told you, just like on that other one, it could poke over, and even if it closes right at it or right under it, usually if it looks like it's closing even right at it, it'll end up popping up through it, and that's what it did. and then it came, and then it flushed right back through it and came down, but then it came up, and this is kind of where it starts to be forming a whole different trend line, a whole different pattern altogether. But you can see the volatility that was running around that trend line. It's very common. NNVC. Oh, okay. I took the other 400 there. Okay. So this is where we're going to look for that move down. We've got 400 shares at 31. I'll probably look to take the first 200 off at the break of 910. So maybe 908. Or I'll look to add again if I can. Maybe I just need to test right here at 905. I think it can test that. Well, Daddy Spy's working back up, so this kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. So what I'd look to do is get out at 166.50. So if I can, if it'll even go down there. If not, it's one of those situations where I feel pretty comfortable adding, although I need to see where that point would be, because so I think I would feel comfortable adding there. NNVC is running away with it, so I need to kind of I need to control my risk here. So I might even take that first 200 at the test of 9. I think we can get the test of 9. So if it breaks down through 907, yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it at 901. Do it at 901. I might add again if it comes up to 28. Okay, so we're at 600 at 930. Final add will be there. Although it should be, technically my final add should be at 934. But yeah, because it comes over 40. It's not going to be good. Okay, this is about to have a breakthrough. I don't know if I want to take that loss now. what I might do is come off 25 at 166.50. Might come off, although if it breaks 66. Go ahead and do it. Come on. Pick me up at 50. I'll be out about, I don't know, $15, $12. It's not pushing. There we go. Okay. Controlled the risk there. So this is where we start playing a game of tag. Tag, you're it. So breaks down here. I think it could retest 18. And I'd take off 200 shares there just to give myself the opportunity to add again if I wanted. So buy there just in case we see a drop. Because what could happen is it could drop and it could start forming another trend line coming up here to test this trend line. So I would like to see it drop and get out just enough shares to where I could start adding back in again if I wanted. And we are nearing 11 o'clock, guys. So I'm probably, once all of this stuff plays out, if it plays out in my favor, 164. I would be willing to take those there. But I tell you what, guys, this market is no joke. It's no joke. You know what? If this does break, I mean, we're almost forming a triple bottom here. If this does break, this has great potential. 63. Just going to see how long I can hold on to it. This is what I'm looking for. Crack through 26, flush down through at least to 18. There you go. There's 21. Can we get it? Can we get the flush? Can we get the flush? We do not want to see another trend line being developed here. There we go. we got 200 off there. There we go. That was interesting. See if we can get the other 400 to break down. Test these levels. Got 400 at a 926 average. Really want to see the breakdown here. Really want to see the breakdown. Otherwise, we may just look to get out, cut our losses. It's 11 o'clock. I was really hoping to at least be able to get over, you know, at least be able to get over 200 today. And again, just, you know, taking my time with the guys, just trading with small share size, not trying to do anything impressive here. Really just wanted to be a lot more relaxed in the markets today. Again, with everything going on with the SPY and all of that, I just, you know, so I have a total of another 400 shares that I could potentially tack on. All right. I'll buy another 200 at 22. Adding liquidity. So here's what we've got going on now. I would move this. This one has very little significance right now, so we should be able to come down to that trend line, at least test it, get down to 22, take those first 200 or those 200 shares off that I had there. Okay, almost. Did not quite touch it. And I'd love to see it crack through. I'd love to be this to be like a double top and it just crack through. So see if we can get those last 200 off there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off, because here's what's going to happen. If this comes back down and busts through that trend line, I don't think it's going to come down just to 22. I think it would bust through 22 and start testing these levels here at 916. So I would be inclined to take those same 200 shares now at 918. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. If it cracks through. If it doesn't, then we're going to go back up for another test. But we really need to see a failed trend line here. I want to see this trend line crack through. If not, like I said, we'll have to start figuring out a plan up here to add and bring our average up. The pattern is tightening up, that's for sure. We may have a breakout, and that's fine. Again, I'll look to add. So again, you know, I can't see, after we had all of this, this is kind of what I'm thinking right now. All of this with this VWAP projection, I think I can't see this being a bear trap. Now we are kind of starting to form, if you think about it, just kind of a solid uptrend here. But I'll tell you what, if it breaks, I mean, if it breaks, that's going to be extremely significant. So where's that on the 15-minute? 916. I might almost let this go to see if it can break 916. I'll put it at 917. Those 200 shares. This could be very significant. See what we can get on those 200 shares. But this could just crush all these levels right now. That's kind of what we're looking to see if it can do. Tell you what, this is whippy, guys. Back and forth, back and forth. Doing good on STMP. STMP making a move. I might even lower it down to 162. I mean, if it breaks 162.50, we'll do that there. Actually, here's what we can do. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. So I'll take off the first 10 shares at 163. I'll take off 10 shares there. Look at this, guys. Now, if this breaks, I mean, there's no way. There's no way. This has got to be coming down. I'm taking away the whole 917 thing. I think this will flush straight down. I think I'm going to shoot for 912 on those shares. But again, if it rejects all of this, we could look for a significant move up. And I would probably want to get out just in case. But we'll see what we can get there. Yeah, if we broke 919, 916, yeah, easy test of 912. So that's what we're going to look for. If this breaks 163, 162.50, I ought to take those 10 at 150. Take those 10 shares there. So buy 10 at 162.50, and then I'll buy 15 at well, I think I would go for the break of 160 on that, actually. Did it get me out? Why is this not getting me out? Let's see. I could have sworn that tapped it. 51. Story of my life. There we go. We got out the first. We got out the first 910. Okay, NNVC flushed down to 912. See where the others go. Let's see. I'd be inclined to take another 100 off at the test of 928. We'll do 90. Look at that buy up. Look at that. But it broke. I don't know. I feel pretty good about that. Let's see. Yeah. If it breaks 907, I think we'll get a test of 902. I'll take out 100 there, and then I'd probably take out another 100 at, where was it? Where's the daily? I can't mess with this chart. This chart keeps messing me up. A break of 880. Next level would be 848. I'd hold on to it for that. I almost feel like I'd hold on to the 200 for that. Maybe we'll take a 100 at the break of 9. So 928 average, so 898. We'll catch it right at the break. If it breaks. Might not even break. I'm thinking it will. Especially if we close on the 5-minute down here. I mean, that should be extremely bearish. And the 15-minute, by the way. And the 15-minute. Now, if the 15-minute closes here, it might be a little concerning. It can still break through. But if it pops up like all the way up, like one of these, I'm not going to want to wait. I'm going to want to just take it. So there we go. Good follow through on STMP. Roku couldn't even make it to the trend line. So we will X that out. STMP, if it breaks 160, I am totally going to hold this for, I would hold this for, I'd hold it for 158, 157. Last 15 shares. I mean, you're not going to get much more than, I wouldn't get much more than like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 bucks out of this anyway. So, NNVC. Okay, good. We got to close. We got to close through. So this is good. So I'm pretty sure I'll get out on those 100 shares on, well, it got me out. I thought to myself, you know what? This is really bearish. This has got to at least be testing 80. I was going to move it, but forget about it. Forget about it. 880. I'm gonna hold this for the break, guys. I really am. I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna hold on to this last 100 shares. You know, I might take 50 on, let's say, the break of 8. 870. I would be willing to do that for the break of 8, or the break of 880. I'll take it at 78, and then I'll take the last 50 at 58. That's how I'll set it up today. STMP, we really want to, I mean, this could be a double bottom, and it could be about to reverse. And so, if, you know, I'll say if it comes above, I don't know, I kind of want to, I'm getting a little greedy here, but I kind of want to take some of the profit here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to at least take, I don't know, 7 shares off there at 160.86. Actually, that's a little too ambitious. So we'll say 161.36. I'll take it off. That'll lock in about 30, I think $30, 30 extra dollars, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little too ambitious. Where could it pull back to? 161. $161, 162. It could pull back to 162, so there we go. Try to lock in an extra 25 bucks off of those 7 shares. I know. This is kind of just blah at this moment. It's not too exciting. I get it. It's not too exciting. But in case there's a turnaround, I don't want to. Actually, the 2-minute looks more promising. The thing is if it breaks that level. Look, I'm going to be fine with the 25 bucks. I'll be cool with that. See if we get a retest of low of day. CMP working against me. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get out. There's no need to 162.36. We're going to, well, hold on, guys. Hold on. I know. I'm getting a little impatient. We've all been there. We've all been there. We know how this is. Actually, I'm having a change of heart right now. This could be a failed double bottom, although SPY is running up. But I wonder if we could just get a quick flush past this level. I'm going to let it play out to 162. See if we can come off 7 shares at 162. Yeah, it's a good sign right there. If it comes over 163, I'll get out. And I'll be prepared to put in an order at 162.50 for 15 shares. Maybe even 162.40. Didn't come over 163 yet. I'm doing my best to follow the rules here. Tell people all the time, stocks, they move up and they move down. They move up and they move down. There we go. We might get that flush to 162 even. There we go. Come on. Take the 7. Take the 7. Hit about 1 share of 7. Man. Wow, you guys are really slow to move on this stuff, yeah? Somebody really trading one share? This can't be real. Almost inclined to take it off the table. Too late for that. I was almost inclined to take it off the table. I want to see it break this low a day. I swear, I'll carry this last 8 shares to my grave. We're gonna carry this all the way down to 155. I mean, this thing could blow. I hate this chart. Something's got to be. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? What's going on, chart? I'm almost thinking, guys. Here, we'll look at the daily chart here on this chart because this chart's not acting like a butt. As a matter of fact, let's see. Let's get rid of this chart. I feel like if I reset my program, maybe it won't do that anymore. I don't know. I'm thinking that, I mean, it could even come down here and break all of this. I mean, what if I just hold on to those shares to like 140? Should really add to it at the break of 160. I should add to it. I really should. I should add actually 12 shares to it at the break of 160. I'll do this. Let's look at what we got here. So 160.55. Okay. I'm going to add 12 shares at the break of 162.30 in anticipation of the break of 160. If it doesn't break, I'll get out. This will be a quick decision. This will be a real quick run through. Guys, I tell you about these trend lines too. Hopefully you guys have been paying attention. Trend lines are legit. Trend lines are legit. You need to have an understanding of how trend lines work. They are not gospel truth. Okay? So I'm not saying that. They're by no means are they gospel truth, but they are very relevant to what is happening with price action, and really what other traders are doing and thinking and all of that. So and then of course support and resistance. That's I would place that just of a little bit more importance. I'd place, you know, support and resistance at a little bit more importance than trend lines. But they're still, that doesn't negate the importance of trend lines. They're still important. The quicker people figure that out, I'm telling you. What just happened? Okay, so now we have a 162.45 average. So if this does not start breaking down immediately, I'm going to get out, guys. I'm going to get out. I will get out all 20 shares at probably 162. I mean, there's no reason to hold on to it any bit passes. This should start tanking. We should be cracking through 160 any second now. And if it's going to come all and make a move all the way back up here, there's no point in staying in. I'm getting out. That's all there is to it. And I'll probably get it out. I'll probably get out at 161. 50. I want to see immediate resolution here. NNVC, we just got out 50 shares there. We're up 315 on the day. I'm pushing for 400 right now. Hopefully we can clear 400. I think with STMP, I think it's a definite possibility. I tell people all the time, like, you don't have to trade with super huge share size to do well with day trading. You see the shares that I've traded with today. I mean, look at this. The biggest shares I've gone in on were PLUG and NNVC, just because I bought up 800 shares with NNVC so that I could do a dollar cost averaging strategy, which actually came in very well to my benefit today. And you know, but I just took 200 here, 200 there. I wasn't trying to load up on thousands of shares. I'm sure there were people out there that were doing that. By the way, NNVC has broken low of day. It hasn't broken the pre-market lows, but that's actually what we're going to work towards on these last 50 shares. As a matter of fact, I'll move that down to 8. Let's see, what's this level here? 848. Yeah, I'll move it down to 52. Why not? 52. Buy. See if we can get the break there. STMP has broken. It's officially cracked through 160. And it's making a pretty solid race down. So I'm gonna hold on to these shares as long as humanly possible. And I might take the first 10 off at 156. So if we get down there, I'll take 10 off. 156, lock in profit. See if we can make a bust down through those levels. I think it could definitely come up to retest 160, maybe even 161. You guys know where my stop's going to be, though. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to give too much leniency on any of that. If this breaks above the 20 and the 9, that's a very significant, that would be a very significant breakthrough. I will actually, so 8.99, stop, I'll do 9, stop, buy. Take that off there. Yeah, that would be significant enough anyway. And same thing here. So my exit point would be 161, roughly 161.16 on the 1 minute. Let me double check that with this. See if that complies with this. Yeah, I think so, because really 161. Because if there's a close above the 9 EMA on the 2 minute, that's a little more concerning to me. Really, especially on the 5 minute. But I want to see a breakdown here. I want to see an absolute breakdown to 156. I'm going to take the first 10 shares off there, and that would lock in roughly, I don't know, 40, 50, 50, maybe $60 worth of profit. We'll just have to see. Okay, do not like that. So I'm actually, by the way, okay, let's see. Hold on. Before I say I don't like it, let me look at the 1 minute here. See what's happening. It's hitting a pretty good failing point. I say 158. I'm now good to take those shares, those 10 shares at 158. So, I'll do that. I don't have any problems doing that now. That'll give me about an extra 40 on the day there. Oh, of course, it's a race up. It's a pretty strong buyback there on the 2 minute and the 5 minute. But Yeah, I don't know. I'm always sketched out when I see stuff like that. So 158. 58.50. We will take. Let's see, 45. We'll do it at 45. We'll take the first 10 shares. Oh, oops. Okay. Ah, what did I do? Matt, what did you do? Okay, guys, didn't mean to do that. I'm not going to get in this now. It's far too overextended. Yes, it may continue to dump. Yes, it's looking very legit on the daily right now. It's looking very legit for a 150 test and a breakdown to the 140s, but I've done really well today and have not traded a super huge share size. You can see I've added a lot of liquidity. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if this can run. If not, I've got a stop set. Let me look at a couple other ones here. Okay, Toka, Roku. Let's look at the 5-minute. I feel like there's probably going to be a fail somewhere in there. STMP. What there could be with STMP right now is a temporary short squeeze, but I don't know if it would. I don't know if it could come back past all these levels of resistance and break the EMA. I'm almost might be willing to get in with 50 shares just to see, because this could be a really harsh rejection right here. Again, even if it was just for a quick scalp, like I could short 50 somewhere around 162. 162.10. I could short 50, take a quick 25 shares off at a 50-cent drop or a 70-cent drop, at least lock in a bit of profit, and then if it breaks past through here, I can get out, and then hopefully I will not have lost anything at that point. NNVC. Looks like we're going to get a move against us. I'm going to stop out the last 50 shares at 897, 896. Buy stop. So the 20 moving average is extremely significant on 1-minute charts. The vast majority of the time, not all the time, but a lot of times when you see this happening here, especially if it closes, and that's usually the key with a lot of things, and this is why day trading requires patience, because you don't just want to jump in right when it's breaking through the 9 EMA. You want to wait for, or the 20 EMA on the 1-minute. You want to wait for it to close, because then otherwise it's just a rejection. That's all it is. This might even be worth taking another 100 shares. Okay. So there's a fake out there. Man, I can't believe I made that stupid error. I accidentally bought back those 10 shares. It's the dumbest thing in the world. This could have been a great move. I could have made another, maybe even another $100 on those shares today. The world may never know. I really would like to see NNVC do a breakdown though, just because I'd like to get over on the day. Plus, you know, considering the shares that I purchased today, I think I located. You know what? I might have only bought on Toka. I'll find out. I can check my message board in here and find out what I bought. But I essentially, I'm thinking that getting at least, I'd like to end like 450. 450-ish would be great. That would pay for that would pay for the shares that I bought to short, or that I borrowed to short, I should say. And on top of that, it'd probably pay for a good chunk of my commissions. I did add a lot of liquidity today, so I'm doing very well with my commission structure right now. Let's see here. I'll actually, as a matter of fact, oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, we're looking at worst case scenario of $30. So that's good. I would end up $400 if I can hold NNVC, hold on to this last 50 shares, and I think it's possible. What do I know? I mean, if this breaks 48, it's already touched down to 811 today. I'm going to look for 38 on those last 50 shares. So, and where will my stop be? I guess my stop will be the break of 890. So we're going to lower the stop to 890. I would even say the anticipation of the break of 890. Buy stop at 899. So there's that. STMP. SPY's weak. I'm still, I feel good. I feel good about taking 20 shares here. But you know what? I'm not. I'm just not. I'm doing well. We just need to see NNVC get down to 38. I'll take my profits off the table and I'll go home. I'll go home on that. So let's see, 45. There's probably going to be some kind of a bounce at 40, 48, because that's a strong daily level of previous resistance, which could act as support. But 840. So actually, I don't think I want to take it at 38. I think I want to take it. I think I'd want to take it at 28. I think 28 is the reasonable area of profit taking on NNVC for those last 50 shares. So make $50 on that last 50 shares. That should put us up plenty into the green. I don't know if it'll completely cover fees and commissions and all that, but I'll roughly end up 400 on the day. I should. After fees, commission, after shares that I borrowed for shorting. Could have just averaged in when it was up there. Taking another 400 shares short, and then I'd be out and done. But hindsight is so 2020 when trading. Again, guys, just so you know, I'm waiting for a little bit of a pullback here. And I think that pullback would happen once it touches 848. But stocks can behave irrationally. You know, levels of support and resistance aren't perfect. Sometimes it can fake you out. Sometimes people can come in and, you know, if enough buyers get on board for a pullback close to support, they'll do it. And then people will get squeezed out. So it's a good solid pullback. This actually tells me now that if this breaks 854, I might want to go ahead and get in for another short. Stop, sell. Might want to get in for another short here. Because it's a significant enough pullback. But if it breaks through 855, I think I'll average in another 100 shares. If it continues to pull back, I'll just start averaging in, period. Okay, so it broke previous 5-minute high. But we want to see if it can break the 5-minute low. Once again, if it does, and then in that case, I would take off I'd probably take off the 150 shares at safely around, you know, 36. I think that would definitely put me up enough on the day to where I could say, yeah, I cleared, you know, I cleared. Although again, you know, if we break these levels, you know what? I don't know if that'd be smart to take 150 there at 36. I think I'd still take it at 28. I think I would still take it at 28. If it did all that, I think I'd still take it at 28. I think there's enough going on here in this trade to justify that way of thinking. And again, you know, I could be wrong, but look, it's not going to drag my average down so far that I won't be able to get out break even. And I mean, you know, if I end less than, or if I end, you know, right at 400 on the day, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I could still probably get out at that point with ending, you know, having 350 after fees and commissions. And so it's not a big deal at this point. This is the best thing about being in the driver's seat. You know, when you've been trading and you've gotten in the best possible positions, and it's kind of like a no sweat kind of deal. Like you're up on the day. Like I'm up on pretty much all of this stuff, except for PLUG. And Roku was just kind of a wash, you know, but paid for the trades, controlled the risk, had good entry and exit points. So, but being up on the day definitely it does. It helps you to be a little more in control of what's going on in the market. Let me see what we're looking at here on the 5-minute. How could I make that back? That's what I want to revenge PLUG right now. What can I do to destroy you, PLUG? What can I do to destroy you and make back my money? I want to make back my money. Give me back my $15.96. Man, I don't know. I don't trust this junk. I just don't trust it. PLUG. Although I don't know, Spy's failing right now. This might. I mean, this might make for a good short. Let me see where I took my last trading. Show executions. Where did I get? Oh, okay. I got in there, and I got out there. Okay, that's right. And it never. Okay, and it never pushed above 523. I mean. See what we're looking at trend line wise. Yeah, I guess that's not a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go check out NNVC. See what kind of a move it's making here. Okay, closed above that 20. No, but it's rejecting. It's rejecting. I mean, that does happen sometimes, but I don't know. Like, usually when you close above the 20, it keeps going from there. So, now if this rejects and starts coming down, I'm definitely keeping my order at 855. And we are forming even a smaller trend line here. So I might even would want to go in the break of 858. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll put it right at 855, and I'm not going to treat it like it's just going to be a double bottom bounce or anything. I'm just going to keep it right there. I want to see this flush. Sitting on top of the 9. Tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to wait and see if this is going to crawl all the way back up to VWAP. There's no way. There's no way I'm going to wait for that. Just because it's 11:51 and I'm ready to get on with the day. But let's see what's happening here. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'll get it at the break. I'm going to stop out at the break of 880. I thought maybe I would average in, but stop buy. I'll give it a little room to spike above all this. But I want to see this come down. I want to see it hit 855, and I want to see it flush down so that I could get out 150 at 828. I do have to leave here in a minute. Actually got to go get my car oil change for our vehicle. But if this comes above even 76. Even 76, even 876. I mean, there's no reason to hold on to it after that. Where was it? 76, yeah, okay. 79, stop buy at 76. Otherwise, I'm gonna I've got an order to sell at 855, and then I'll pull in a limit of 150 at, you know, I might do 75 at 38 and then the other 75 at 28, or no, I'd say 75 at 34, because I think it'll, based upon that daily level here, if it breaks 48, the next real area that we need to worry about is going to be 24. I think it could flush straight through all of that. Now look at this. We got something happening with this trend line here. This could be a bounce. I want to see it break. As a matter of fact, if it doesn't break this trend line, yeah, if it doesn't break, I'm getting out. I want to see it break the trend line, and I want to see it break the previous 5 minute. Okay, so didn't break. Well, I've got my order set at 876, so now if it doesn't come up, this could be the break. We'll see. See if we can finally get a flush here, get through 855, and just start getting the breakdown. Like I said, I would take the first 75 shares at 834, and then I would take the second 75 shares at like 8, you know, maybe 824. I would see if it could get down there. If it couldn't get down there, and if I just had to leave, then, you know, I would just leave. All right, guys. So stopped out that last little bit there. So it was a pretty good day. Pretty good day. I've enjoyed the trading today. We did well. We're up over $421.33. So I'll do a daily recap video here in a little bit. Like I said, I've got to go take care of some stuff, but I may come back in here later, and if there's anything that presents some good opportunities. I mean, if I see a squeeze coming all the way up here, I would take another trade at VWAP. I would average back in maybe another 800 shares slowly, and just see where it goes from there. But I'm going to keep this charting up here because I think it. Let's see. Studies, trading, show executions. Yeah, I think this gives a good picture of, you know, the mindset of where I had averaged in and just waiting for it to roll over and taking profit as it broke through those trend lines. So I think this is good to keep in play. If we break this trend line, let me just see something here. So here's the thing. Typically, by the way, typically when looking to at least take longer share size positions, or we'll say a little bit bigger share size positions, and when I'm trying to hold on to pieces of that, what I'll normally do is I'll slow down the time frame. You know, I think the 15-minute and the 5-minute can tell you a lot, even more than the 2-minute and the 1-minute, right? But that's the best place, you know, because, for example, if I got in here, it's butting up against the 9 EMA. That means way more than even breaking the 9 EMA on the 2-minute. Okay, when it holds on the 5-minute, you know that's the real deal. And not always. None of this is 100% all the time. but the probabilities are just much more in your favor. So you could even start averaging in here, right here at 83. And then you just say, well, you know what? If it pops up over 90 and breaks through that EMA and holds whatever, I'll get out. So you're not, you're risking 7 cents. Right now, I don't really care to risk 7 cents because, I mean, let's face it, I'm doing well on the day. I feel like I can make another 20 bucks here actually on 200 shares. Well, missed it. Let's see if it drops down to 63. I was looking to take it at 83. Let's see if it drops down to 63 real quick. That'd have been or excuse me, 73. There we go. There we go. Look, if it comes down here, 75. Nope. Almost. Almost. Or you could take it. You could have taken 300 shares, and that'd been a extra 30 bucks. But it didn't come. It didn't come down. It could right now though. Could test that trend line at 68. These are just, guys, these are just more surefire ways to trade. They're not, it's again, it builds confidence when you know and understand how this stuff works. It doesn't necessarily make you right. It just builds confidence. And so you're not afraid to take the trades, and you understand that the probabilities are a little bit more in your favor. So you can take it. Now me, like I said, I'm done for the day. I'm up 421. I have no reason. There's no reason at all to continue trading. I'm done. I don't need to. I'm good. STMP still providing good opportunities. It's slowing down though. I haven't checked the relative strength index. I don't typically try to look at the relative strength index. I think it's something good to look at, but I don't typically look at it. But in situations like this where it looks like sell volume could be dying off, let me go back here on STMP. It is good to understand. I mean, just so you can see, does this have more room to go? Could this really break this level today? Could it really break 150? Could we really see a move down into the 140s? Or is this like completely oversold right now? Is it possible that the buyers are really going to start stepping in? Even looking here, it is far enough under VWAP. I don't know. I don't completely know the fundamentals on all of this stuff. And so this could be at a point today where, investors or even swing traders see this as a good opportunity to get in for a quick trade, a quick swing trade, where investors might see this as a good opportunity, a good buy opportunity. I mean, this stock could be expected to go to $300. So I don't know, that's why there are those certain times where I will consider using the relative strength index. I think out of all the indicators, we've talked about many of them here on the channel. We've talked about the Bollinger Bands. We've talked about the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence. We've talked about even the use of Fibonacci retracement tools, which Fibonacci retracement tools, if you know how to use them, that would kind of be another tool that I think is pretty legit, but you have to use it in line with things like VWAP and areas of support and resistance and volume. Okay, but if you're just looking for another solid indicator that could give you a little bit of information about where a stock's price could be headed, relative strength index is the only other one that I'll really allow on my charts. And again, it's only for certain case scenarios. I think relative strength index is much more applicable on the slower time frames. And when I say the slower time frames, I mean the daily charts, the weekly, or the daily time frame, the weekly time frame. And you can use that for intraday trading. Again, if, for example, if we go on the daily chart and we just here, I'll show you real quick. We pull out the relative strength index. And we look at it, okay, well, it's at 78.43. Okay, it's really not oversold. So this could tell us that, given some sort of a pullback, now you do want to test it on, I would say at least like a 15-minute. It would be good to test it on. So we could do it again here, go look here, and see what it's at. So here on the 15-minute, you do see that it's getting oversold. But here's the thing. The daily chart is going to give you information pertaining more so to investors, the daily charts and the weekly charts and whatnot, which I just use the daily chart. Whereas, the 15-minute chart or even the hourly chart, I mean, let's see what the hourly chart would show us. Because even the hourly chart would then, so we're at a 46 on the hourly chart. You have to kind of weigh all those things in. Now, we do see a pattern forming on the hourly, and we do see that, there could be significant resistance here or support here. But if this breaks the low at 156.21, I mean, knowing that it's not really completely oversold, I mean, it's kind of getting there on the 15-minute, but you might be able to get a good move down. And we know that cracking 155 would be significant, and I'm pretty sure we would see a retest of 150. So, it's not necessarily a bad trade to take. We've seen a little bit of a pullback here, and I think what I would do if I was still trading today, which I'm not, pretty much done. So, but if I was still trading today, I think I'd look for an opportunity on a pullback, which this might be it. This might be a good place. This is good middle ground. And I'd probably set a stop at 159.14, to break, because I think that would break this, this 15-minute candle here, plus it would break the 9 EMA. It'd kind of be doing all of that and then, setting confirmation. So, and I'd only take like, me personally, I mean, I would only take like 20 shares. Because here's the thing, you're risking roughly at that point, you're risking $60, not even, to make potentially a $5 move. Maybe even on 20 shares. Again, maybe even a $10 move. I mean, you might even wait for the crack of the day. This might just be something you want to hold on to today and see if it can crack down through here. And you could be looking at easily a $200 to maybe even $300 profit, just depending on how long you can hold on to those shares. I mean, for me, I would probably take 10 shares off right before the break of 151. And so from this point, I would lock in $60 there. And then I'd set a stop to break even or something. And then if it did break through these levels and start coming down here, I might set the other 10 shares to, 145, 146 maybe. And so then then you're making $130 on the trade. So you're still better than you're still, even with profit taken on the way down, you're still better than a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio. Or you're right there knocking on the door to a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio. And that's a valid trade. That's a valid trade. That's a good reason to trade. And even less if you wanted to wait, if it broke the previous 5-minute candle, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I would set on a stock like this, I would set plenty of room for it to run. But anyway, and I guess it would be closer to a $40 loss, but maybe we may say $50 after commissions and everything. So you really could be looking at a 3-to-1 profit loss ratio if this stock moves in a good direction today. But again, look, I'm not a professional financial advisor. Trading is considered high risk. You trade at your own discretion. Do not follow my advice here. Look, I'm just here for entertainment purposes and to educate because I definitely have enough knowledge to at least teach about these things, but I'm no prophet here, okay? I don't know where the stock market's going to move. If you're watching my show here and you're thinking about jumping in with 100 shares, I mean, you're risking losing, $400, okay? So I wouldn't, or at least a couple, $300. So me personally, I would not do that. But if you do it, you're doing it at your own risk. So anyway, guys, it's been a great day of trading today. I think I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. I'm up over $400 on the day, and I will come out with my daily review later on. Thank you guys for joining me today, and we'll see you same time tomorrow. All right, take care.